You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. A federal lawsuit was filed on Tuesday against multiple entities following sexual assault on a Taylorville student in 2024. Ashley and Chad Peden of Stonington have filed a federal lawsuit with the Sparty Law Group against Taylorville School District and Durham School Services concerning a sexual assault again that happened in January of 2024. The case stems from the Peden's then 10-year-old daughter, who was a victim of a sexual assault by a 14-year-old both on the school bus and on her walk home. Cass Casper, attorney for Disparity Law Group, detailed the assaults that occurred and says that while this lawsuit may not make things right, policy must change.
The last week of January 2024, like she'd done so many times before, she gets on the school bus over at Taylorville Junior High School. She is there cornered by the perpetrator multiple times during that week in the corner of a bus seat and viciously sexually assaulted. This young child was so confused and distraught by what was occurring that she did not even understand what was occurring to her as it was happening. As if that's not horrifying enough to all the parents with young children, to our school leaders who are in charge of these young children, this perpetrator, who's 14 years old, 4 years older than her, follows her off the bus at the community center, follows her into the back of the building, and repeats his vicious assaults on her, at least 3 times. As one can imagine, Jane has been severely harmed by what has happened to her. She's in ongoing therapy and will be for the foreseeable future. We don't know that anything that this lawsuit can do is ever going to make this right for Jane or for the family who's had to suffer with this.
The lawsuit was filed after a Title IX investigation that the district underwent. Casper says that the school district was more concerned with absolving themselves of responsibility than preventing future incidents from occurring or even answering questions that the Pedens had regarding their daughter's assault.
There was a Title IX investigation that the district undertook. It was more concerned, as we read the report, with vindicating the school district. It was more concerned with absolving the school district of responsibility. It is peppered with statements that, as you read them, question the credibility of Ashley and Chad, question the credibility of the victim. It's full of statements about that, which is highly inappropriate for an investigation with these kinds of allegations. The Title IX report notes that there may have been a longer version of the bus video, but they only got a few days of footage, which wasn't preserved beyond that. The Title IX report generally minimizes the district's knowledge, the district officials' knowledge of anything about what happened or anything about the perpetrator's prior background. And it did nothing to answer any of the major questions that Ashley and Chad had about what happened to their daughter. It was a thoroughly inadequate whitewashing job because they want to get to the bottom of what happened to Jane. They want to get the full picture. They want to hear from everybody that should have been interviewed in the Title IX investigation but wasn't. They want to get the evidence that should have been produced in the Title IX investigation but wasn't, as part of the process of achieving closure for them, closure for Jane, and justice for Jane and their family.
The family is urging anyone that has information or details about the incident to give Disparity Law offices a call.
Now that the suit has been filed, we need something, the family needs something from the community. If you have information about what happened to Jane at Taylorville, if you have information, however remote, about the perpetrator, who we're not naming today, engaging in this kind of conduct, if you have information about like cases that happened in Taylorville, please reach out to us. Our firm's number is 312-506-5511, my extension 331. Call me. Call the Sparty Law Group with that information, however remote, however unhelpful you might think it is. Leads help, and we want them. for the sake of your own children, other children in the community, for little Jane, for Ashley and Chad. So that's a call for help.
Next up, for the federal lawsuit, the case will be set for a court hearing and processed through the district court. Disparity Law Group and the Pedons have filed 4 counts. Title IX, deprivation of substantive due process right to bodily integrity, which coincides with the 14th Amendment, willful and wanton negligence, and negligent infliction of emotional distress.
We filed the lawsuit this morning in the Central District of Illinois. Within the next 24 hours, it'll be placed out for service of process on Taylorville, as well as on the bus company which was in charge of the bus where this occurred. In the coming weeks, the case will be set for an initial court hearing, and it will be processed through the district. The defendants will have to file an answer or another motion on the case, and then we will go into the investigation stage. As Larry Disparty has said, our firm is prepared to undertake every effort to get to the bottom of the facts of what happened to Jane. We will be interviewing witnesses who may have information. We will be interviewing the school officials. We will be seeking every document, every surveillance tape, every piece of information we can locate to get to the bottom of what happened to Jane. We will uncover and we will seek. As far as the substance of the Pedon family's claims, we are claiming violations of Title IX, which is the federal law governing sex abuse and other types of cases for our young children. We are alleging violations of the 14th Amendment right to bodily integrity. We're alleging negligence by the school district in the fact that this happened to begin with, as well as in how they handled it afterwards, which I'm going to come to in a second. We're seeking justice for the emotional distress, the emotional wreckage that's been imposed on Jane for what happened, and other claims as the case proceeds.
State Senator Steve McClure attended the press conference and spoke to the media as a concerned citizen. Senator McClure says, above all else, the Pedon family has expressed their desire for statewide legislation and prevention. He has also noted that since this case has come forward, several similar cases have been filed across the state.
From the very beginning, the Pedon family has said that their only goal here is to make sure that this never happens to anyone ever again. And so, we've worked obviously at the Capitol, and they have just made it abundantly clear that they are going to fight as much as they can, wherever they have to try to protect the safety of the kids all across our state. And so I commend them for that, and I'm here to support them. And I really appreciate what they are doing and what they're planning on doing, because we've got to protect the kids of our state. And if these issues don't get addressed, our kids are going to be in serious danger potentially as the years unfold. One of the issues I've seen as well is ever since my involvement in these types of cases is that people are coming from across the state with the same story in different areas. And so this has to be addressed. And I'm here to help expose this and also try to fight this and make policy changes that will make our state a better place and a safer place for our students.
Regional Radio News has reached out to Durham School Services. A representative from Durham says that they are unable to comment on any active litigation. Taylorville School District has yet to respond to our request for comment. If you have any information regarding this case, please contact Disparity Law Group at 312-506-5511. Regional Radio News interviewed Ashley Pedon in August of 2024, and to read that story, visit us at Taylorville Daily News, as well as our Senator McClure's proposed legislation story, also available at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Stay tuned to Regional Radio News for all the latest developments in this breaking news story. The Christian County Board met on Tuesday evening. Michelle Brown was recognized. Brown is retiring after 38 years of service to the county, the state's attorney's office, and the public defender's office. Brown was recognized by both the county board and state's attorney John McWard. McWard, who is usually never at a loss for words, struggled to put his feelings into words.
Michelle has given her entire life to this county. In the past 3 years, she's turned into my mom. She's been there for a lot. I was elected the youngest state's attorney in Illinois. I was 29 years old. That could be her kid. And she's raised her kids here. She's lost both of her parents while she's been working here. She's given her entire life to Christian County. I don't think, outside of Mary Rhodes, I don't think we'll ever see someone be here longer. And so where I'm coming from, to the county board, to everybody here in attendance, Michelle Brown is the real deal. She has given everything she has. She's missed kids' games. She's missed family events for the people of Christian County to make myself look good, past state's attorneys look good, to make sure everything happens. So
Brown would go on to thank everyone for their support over the last few years.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for my friends and family who came tonight. It means so much to me. I've grown up here and I've grown old here. And I'm just so proud to have 38 years of service to Christian County. When I started out, and I'll just say this and I'll be done. I always said, I just want to have two things that my parents never had. My parents were both self-employed and they didn't have a retirement and they didn't have health insurance. And I've had both. And I thank you all for everything.
In other meeting news, Leslie DeVore was named to the Christian County Health Board on a 3-year term. A new county board member for District 4 was announced. Marcia Miles has been selected, but they will be sworn in next month. Bill Kennedy gave an update on the flooring for the courthouse and gave good news, informing the board that there are some sagging floors, but there is a plan to fix these and also make them stronger. A county cleanup grant for Mount Auburn was approved. NSF fees were increased from $25 to $30 for all county departments. An engineer salary has been agreed on at $174,000. And Mark Baumann with Central Commodity FS got approval for the county to gain their support and a grant for their Harville facility.
Infrastructure improvements there as well. The new project would all be here near the rail, and it just basically consists of 2 working bins that we would fill from our existing facility. Those bins are designed to be filled and drained, which is a little different than the current bins that are there. We would have a scale. Everything would be sized up to 60,000 bushel an hour, so we can load unit trains, and we have a given period of time to load those trains and get them back on the line. So pretty extensive project. If you're interested in the movements, because it's kind of a hard concept to understand even for myself, and I'm not going to try to get through this, but I've got stage designs. It's a ladder track, so they would pull the whole train off the main onto a siding. Then we break that up into stages. We can load 15 cars at a time, won't block any existing crossings, and we can get up to 120 cars. So that would be more than a full unit train and give us some future capacity for DNS. Right now, in their largest unit trains, I think, are 103 cars. So
The board would go into closed session to discuss future real estate purchase and planning. Their next board meeting is Tuesday, July 15th at 6 p.m. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news. It's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. When you become a member of TCCU, you become an owner and have access to our great loan rates, earn great dividends on our deposit accounts, have access to our full range of financial products, and will receive personal attention from people you know. Membership is open to anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, and Shelby County. We are conveniently located in Taylorville, Hillsborough, Litchfield, and Pana. You can also visit us online at www.tccu.org. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
The Christian County Health Department says that it has detected West Nile virus in mosquitoes in Pana. It's the first such case in the county this year. Environmental health staff collected the sample on June 16th. The Illinois Department of Public Health says that no humans have tested positive in 2025 so far. The Illinois Department of Public Health says most people with West Nile virus experience nothing more than a severe headache and possibly fever. Some will notice no symptoms at all, however. In rare cases, though more frequently for elderly people, the virus can cause West Nile encephalitis. This is a serious disease that affects the brain and can be deadly. Symptoms of this disease include fever, headache, rashes, swollen nodes, conjunctivitis or eye irritation, disorientation, and muscle weakness. Dr. Chad Anderson, Public Health Administrator, urges people to use insect repellent and remove standing water areas to protect themselves from the virus. Warm, humid conditions, like what the area has seen lately, are ripe for mosquitoes to emerge. The CCHD says it will continue to monitor and test for West Nile virus. More information from the department is available at cchdil.org or by calling 217-814-4113. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club heard from the recreation director at the Taylorville Park District at their weekly meeting Tuesday at the Taylorville Moose Lodge. Jessica Franks shared a full plate of activities happening at Manners Park this year, plus the status of the park's pool project. On the pool, Franks stated bids received were over their $8 million budget that the district had established, so the project is now being rebid.
We are in the process of going back through a rebid process, reaching out to new contractors. We're really trying to work in some local people too. Not only does it save money, but it's going to help our neighbors be able to work on this also. So I don't know if you guys have seen that pool, or any of the design, but it's supposed to be very, very nice. It needed to be done for a very long time. And we also got a grant through the state of Illinois that is allowing us to put in a splash pad. So that will be out there with the pool too. So it is a significant amount of money. It's very expensive, but it's something that needs to be done if we want to allow our kids and families to be able to have that to enjoy.
Park District Board member Sherry Craigs is the head of the board's pool committee and will be leading the rebidding project to then report to the full board. Franks added last Friday's Taylor Swift Legacy concert drew over 600 people, with 2 more concerts set at the Manners Park Chautauqua Auditorium. Movies will be shown at the park this summer, with both the concerts and movies free for families to enjoy. A car cruise is also planned on the same nights as the concerts to attract even more people. Last year's Christmas in the Park lighted drive-through displays were another success according to Franks. At the request of many in the community, the park board is extending drive-through nights for 2025 to go through the Sunday after Christmas. Kids Camp this week was again successful, and Franks added disc golf and the dog park at the park have both been popular. Franks is also helping raise funds for the community to build new tennis courts on park property to be used by the Taylorville High School tennis teams and others. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club is part of a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. For more information on the club, go to TaylorvilleKiwanis.com. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news. It's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
Agriculture drives our community, and at CNB Bank and Trust, we're here to help your operation run smoothly. Our business checking accounts are designed with local farmers and agribusinesses in mind, offering flexible options, digital tools, and personalized support from people who know the land like you do. Visit our Taylorville branch and let's build something strong together. CNB Bank and Trust, helping to open doors since 1854. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home.
This is Chad Sparks. When you lose a loved one, your choice for making final arrangements should be with the compassionate family at Sutton Memorial Homes. They know the death of a loved one is difficult. Austin and Evan at Sutton's and the entire staff have devoted themselves to loving and caring for those in their community in their time of need. You can trust Sutton Memorial Homes to assist your family in making final arrangements that will be a tribute to your loved one. Sutton Memorial Homes, caring is what they do best.
72-year-old Larry or Rock Upton of Edinburgh died on June 7th. Memorial visitation is June 18th from 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Cremation rights have been accorded, and funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or every hour on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.
This is Blaine Cornwell from Prairie State Insurance. As a farmer, nothing compares to the sense of pride you feel when you first head outside in the morning. In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if the guy down the road has the same insurance as you do. What matters is that you have the right insurance coverage.